She's the one who is giving... No. No. Oh, fuck. I don't know. She knew what the signal was.
You think Fazulay loves you? He asked me if I wanted to have you killed.
Wait, it's not a plan between you?
I said yes. Perhaps you should have.
No.
I would have never said yes. In any case, I need you. Somehow we have to spirit Prince Igor out of here. Since it's my fate to kill you, it makes sense for me to stay with you, I suppose. The Patriarch is sending the first Metropolitan Bishop to Kiev to celebrate Easter. Hundreds of us the right to witness this. When does the Bishop arrive? Tomorrow. And the ceremony is the day after.
So you have to read. It was not a plan. Ah. Yes! What are you doing outside on your own? The serpent. Ah! You're imagining it, kid. It was your hallucination. No. Not the kid. No. No. Another kid of Bjorn just died. How many of Bjorn's kids have to die? Finally.
He's come back. Who's back? Tell me which. It's him. I'm very sorry to interrupt this election.
Of course it was you, Harald. To knock at a gut like that.
Elections.
To intervene now.
Approve of elections. Oh, by the way, for those who do not know who I am,
You're the king.
my name is Harald, King Fine. Relationship with his beautiful mother, Lagan. I know Ragnar's sons. I have a new ally. His name is Kani.
It's tall, or maybe you're
And thus,
little.
you all will discover hard to forget. I've come to rescue you all. I came to claim what is right in mine.
You're not gonna have Kattegat? No?
A pirate and a murderer. I shall see what to do with you. Go ahead. My esteem for you could not be higher.
You wanted... Oh, no.
But your timing could have been better.
Mm-hmm.
On the contrary, you don't have to worry about electing a king of Kattegat, because I was, and I still am, the elected king of all Norway. I am still your king. I am still your king.
You can repeat it again and again. It's not gonna make it true for these people.
A just, a fair-minded ruler.
What a joke.
I want my name to be remembered for as long as the names of Ragnar Lothbrok and Björn Ironside are remembered.
You can wish you would never have.
They mean you know them. They just want to belong here. We just have to learn to love each other.
You can't. You want his life, you want his woman. You're not gonna have that.
But one day I thought, I really love this man. I want to be like him.
It seems to me that you just take what you want.
Like,
Just care if people love you.
Yes. I was like that. I agree.
And you changed?
I'm not jealous anymore. I'm not angry anymore.
Because Björn is dead.
I am determined to forge the future of Kattegat.
God, please, no.
Skål.
Skål. Not on my dead body. Not even on my dead body is gonna sit on that throne. Please.
It's him. I know.
But it is special in another way. And today you must do everything we tell you.
Tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me that. They're gonna succeed. They're gonna make it. You okay? Not surprised to not have Katja and Igor with you right now? You don't care?
That is true. You'll got someone else you want to be. My friends, Lena and Frank. Benethian after Hamida Kohi. Where's Prince Igor?
You see it just right now? You really didn't know? Oleg. I'm almost disappointed. So you are truly with us, Katja? That's it, that's a proof. It was so obvious. I don't understand. It was so obvious. Or was it just obvious for me because I suppose to every one of them had a plan? You know, I don't know who to blame. I don't know if I should blame myself because I imagined that all of them had plans and you know that they prepared a lot of stuff and in fact no. I should have not imagined all of that. Or do I have to blame the writers because they presented these characters since a long time as so clever that I can't think that they can be fooled just like that? Do you understand what I mean? Oleg is going to that ceremony and all. Okay, maybe it's focused on the ceremony during a long time, but it's just at the end like, oh, there is no one with me, no Katja, no Igor. That's strange. I mean, that scene at the end, even if it was powerful, you know, and it was great also to have a religious scene because I'm sorry to say it, that's an important aspect of the show Vikings since the beginning of the show, since really the beginning of the show. So I'm glad that we had a religious thing during this show, not only with this Christian ceremony, but also, you know, with Ingrid making that Viking cult and also with that scene on the ocean. I'm glad that we had moments like that, religious moments like that into this show. But I'm not sure of Oleg understanding just at the end, oh, I'm all alone, that's weird. Maybe he didn't prepare that plan and all, and for that I can blame myself because I thought that he was more clever than that. But for him realizing that just at the end, it's maybe a little easy, you know, for the writers. Okay, let's think about Ivar and Hvitserk, their fight. Again, I thought also that it was part of a plan because it felt like it was coming from nowhere, that fight. I mean, okay, they have a bad background, you know, they have a long story, a long and difficult story, and okay, what they said to each other during that fight was alright, but the fight happening right now like that, it was coming from nowhere and it made nonsense for me. I mean, the fact that Oleg preferred Hvitserk for that meeting was not, and maybe changed, you know, his favorite Ragnar's son, that's not a reason enough for justifying a fight like that between the brothers. I mean, I get why we had it, why the writers would want to create that fight to remind to the viewers that there is a background between these two brothers, that there is something right there, and we have to keep that in mind because it can be important for the rest of the season. Like, we have to remember that they are not like that. That can be interesting, but making a fight like that during that moment and with Oleg watching it, it really made me think that it was a part of the plan for Oleg, thinking that he can separate the brothers. And they were only together, you know, Ivar and Hvitserk. They didn't say that it was a plan and they acted like it was not. So I have to believe that it was not a plan, that it was a real fight. Beginning just because of that, because of Oleg doing that, and the brothers not seeing what Oleg is trying to do. See, again, I can see why the writers want to do that. Maybe the fact that they have to do that for the rest of the show, but doing it like that, it was not so clever. Because it's coming from nowhere, that fight, and it's putting the brothers and Oleg in positions like they sound not stupid, but not as clever as they should be, as you presented them to be. I mean, Hvitserk maybe not, but Ivar and Oleg, they are supposed to be really smart guys, and right there, none of them were smart. I mean, Oleg wanted to separate the brothers, okay, but at the end, he's not really paying attention to them, and he needs a lot of time to... Oh! I'm all alone. Ivar and Hvitserk, they are not seeing that Oleg is trying to separate them. They are really fighting against each other. They are saying bad stuff to each other. Again, it can be interesting for the rest of the season, but still. And at the end, they are escaping just like that. The only one, you know, who is surprising me and in a good way, it's Katya. I really didn't see how she could be on our side because of the fact that we didn't see a real reason for her to switch. Like, for the development of her character during this season, for what she did with Oleg, what she said and all, why suddenly she changed and switched? I don't know. I was ready, you know, to maybe believe her for the rest of the season, but I was really mad that Ivar told her his secrets, you know, about Dir and all so easily. Like, for me it was a stupid move, and she did all of that just for that, for having these informations, and she was gonna betray Ivar. But she didn't betray Ivar. I'm glad. That's a surprise and a good one. But again, is it well written, you know? Logical with the development of her character? And with her relationship with Oleg? I'm not sure. For that part of the episode, you know, for the Ivar, Hvitserk, Oleg, Katya part of this episode, I have to say it, maybe I imagine too much that they made plans, you know, that they plan stuff, all of them. Maybe for that I can blame myself. But even if I can understand why the writers made these decisions, all of these decisions, and the fact that they needed to make these decisions, even if I understand that, I'm not convinced by how they did it. I think that it was sometimes not well written. I'm a little disappointed about that, maybe because we had 2 wonderful episodes and I had nothing wrong to say about the 2 last episodes. So for this one, I'm a little disappointed. For that part of the episode. For the Gunhild part, So Ingrid became a witch, you know, she can predict stuff because she made that cult moment. Eric saw that. Eric was not taking any sides, you know, for the election, and Harald came. Of course he was gonna come during that moment, claiming the throne because he is king of all Norway and he wants everything that Bjorn had. The throne of Kattegat and his woman. I really hope that he's not gonna have any of that. Gunhild, what can she do now? That moment, you know, when we saw the ghost of Bjorn, Lagertha and Ragnar, that was painful, but that was also great, you know, for the symbolic, the fact that they were looking at her, waiting for her to do something. That was great for that, and it's giving me hope for the rest of the show, for the last episodes, to maybe see their ghosts again, to honor them again. A reunion, maybe, with all of them at the end. What Gunhild can do right now, I don't know. But I trust her. I'm trusting more her than Eric or Ingrid to do something clever right now, something that can help. But I don't know what. Ube, so Asa, we lost Asa. Either one of Bjorn's kids still alive. The little boy, you know, he died already. Asa just died. If it's not for Ingrid's baby, you know, the fact that she's pregnant right now, we don't have any of Bjorn's babies, kids, alive. Asa just died. I knew that we were gonna lose people during this journey on the ocean because of the trailer, because we saw that ocean monster. And in fact it was Asa's hallucination, you know, because of this story. But I really didn't think that we were gonna lose that kid. Bjorn's kid. The last of Bjorn's kid, I think. I did not like this episode. Because for Ube narrative arc we lost Asa. For Gunhild narrative arc, Harald came back and is claiming the throne of Kattegat. And for Ivar and Hvitserk narrative arc, it sounded easy, or at least not as good, you know, than the rest of the episodes. It was logically written like that, but it was not well written. What happened during this episode, according to the characters, how they evolved and who they are right now, and their relationships, how they are right now and all, according to that, what happened during this episode felt like nonsense. Like a lot of things were coming from nowhere. Again, I understand why the writer did that, because they needed to do that, you know, they needed to take Igor and Ivar and Hvitserk out of the town, with Katja if you want. They needed to remind to the viewers that the relationship between Ivar and Hvitserk, it's not such a good one, that they have a bad background. They needed maybe to remind to the viewers that. But how they did it, it felt wrong. I don't understand Katja's development, you know, the development of a character, why she switched suddenly for Ivar. I don't understand why the brothers fought like that so hardly just because of one thing happening. I don't understand how Oleg, who is supposed to be smart and a snake, is not paying attention to what is happening with Katja, with Ivar, during the ceremony, before the ceremony. Tell me, what did you think about this episode? If it disturbed you like it's disturbing me or not? If you thought, like me, that they had plans and in fact no. And if you felt, you know, like things were logical but not well written for the Ivar, Hvitserk and Oleg part, you know. I'm interested by your opinion on that, if I'm the only one who is thinking like that. But still, it was a good episode, it was a Viking one, and I liked the fact that we had religious stuff, really. I hope that we're gonna have more of that during the last episode, because again this is an important part of the show and sometimes they are forgetting it during the last seasons, but for the first ones it was such a big and important one that I'm glad that we have little things about it. Okay, so this is all for today for you and for me, and this is all for you for now, so bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Hey.